This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Summer's almost out and fall's calling. Luckily, Nordstrom has everything you need for the season ahead, all under $100. Discover new arrivals from your favorite brands like Mango, Princess Polly, Wave, Free People, BDG, and more. Whether you're planning a last-minute getaway, heading back to class, or refreshing your office looks, you'll find the latest trends and beauty must-haves without breaking your budget. It's easy, too, with free shipping, free returns, and in-store order pickup. Shop today, in stores, and at Nordstrom.com.
This episode is brought to you by Wayfair. Podcasts follow us everywhere. Whether you're cooking in the kitchen, chilling in the living room, or pretending to fold laundry in the bedroom. And with Wayfair, every one of those rooms can tell a story of its own. Their curated collections of furniture styles and prices make Wayfair the trusted destination to turn your home into your happy place. Shop everything home at wayfair.com with free and easy delivery straight to your door.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
War Eagle, and welcome to Ever to Podcast. This is our audio show where we get together with you on E2C Network to talk about the latest Auburn news, discussions, scuttlebutt, things that are happening out and about in the world, on social media and otherwise, to keep you updated on the Auburn experience, which is all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff. If it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us in what we're going to be doing in this particular episode 51 of Ever to Podcast. Today's date is August 13th, 2025, and I am your host, as always, Kyle Loomis. On today's episode, we're going to break down some discussions about the college football helmet, who's got the best one debate. That happened yesterday. We engaged a little bit that on social media. We're going to catch you back up on some news that happened that we didn't get to cover yesterday that transpired over the weekend in terms of recruiting. And there are a smattering of other things as well that we'll catch you up on in the Auburn experience. Let's start first, though, with some recruiting news, because I know that is something that a lot of you love to talk about and spend time on. Now, let me apologize. We didn't cover that yesterday because there was a lot of things that we wanted to fit into a small window, and I also had some things a little bit wrong yesterday about the football practice schedule. I had the days flopped. They're practicing today and tomorrow, not yesterday and today. So anyway, we'll cover that on the tomorrow show when we get some updates from the defensive coaches, most likely today. But anyway, back to the recruiting news. You probably have heard by now. We've talked about it on our content. Others have as well. The big commitment that ended the week, started the weekend for Auburn football on Friday. That was wide receiver Jace Mathews out of Leakesville, Mississippi. Now, this was a big one just in terms of everybody's anticipation, hype around it, because he's very well thought of in terms of where he's ranked on particular sites and things like that. You're going to find a variant, as you always do, on where that is. But this is one that a lot of people wanted. Jace was sought out heavily by his home state schools, especially Ole Miss, which was probably the biggest contender there. Texas A&M, LSU, also in the mix there too. But he chooses Auburn. And the coolest thing about it is that this is just continuing a trend of great, seemingly great. Let's just say some of these guys have not proven stuff quite yet because they just got here, some of them, but the Freeze 4 have been here for a while. But, in terms of on paper and halfway through this process of seeing the great success that the Freeze 4 mostly have done, this has been a great run for wide receiver recruiting for Auburn, and that's a credit to Marcus Davis. When he was brought in, a former wide receiver, mind you, of Auburn, brought in, a lot of people, I think, were excited about him, but some people were skeptical. Is he ready for the big stage here? Well, he was ready, clearly, and we probably needed him a lot sooner than we've had him here for his recruiting prowess, especially at his position group that he coaches, wide receiver. So add Jace Mathews to the list of the Smith brothers that came in, Sam Turner last year, they're all here now. The Freeze 4, which included Bryce Kane, which included Cam Coleman, which included Perry Thompson and Malcolm Simmons. They're going to be hopefully all together in a sense next year. And I would venture to say that the recruiting process are still underway, so it doesn't mean that we're quite done yet. Marcus Davis, though, is having himself quite a time of building up Auburn into the conversation, at least just being discussed as a potential wide receiver U type of place if this continues on this trend. So congrats to him. Congrats to Auburn. It was a great way to start the weekend. A lot of people have been down about Auburn recruiting because there's not, I won't get into it today. There needs to be more nuance in the conversation about what's a down point or is Auburn suffering in recruiting right now or not. I'm going to tell you exactly what Kenyatta Watson, director of recruiting for Auburn, has said. He even retweeted us on this. It is not a marathon. It is not a sprint. It is a marathon. You cannot run a sprint when it is a marathon. You will run out of gas and you will fail. So anyway, a little bit of a celebration for Jace Mathews coming in, and wanted to cover that here on one of the shows this week. Let's do a fun topic in the football realm, because this came out from ESPN yesterday. They posted a graphic asking who has the best helmet in college football. On this, and they said this is tough. On this graphic, they have Clemson, TCU, Oregon, Florida State, Ohio State. How is that even on there? It's just a gray helmet. Same with Notre Dame. It's just gold. Michigan, Tennessee, Texas, SMU, and UCLA. And then they put a question mark with other, obviously, to spark the conversation, which we did. And we put the all-white helmet. I'm talking white face mask. Now, listen, I think so many of you have been here for a while. You've heard my opinions personally about changes to the uniform. Not a fan of it. I think they're perfect. However, when they did go a few years ago to alternating, or at least using different face masks with the helmets, I was okay with that, especially when I saw for the first time the white face mask look on our white helmets. It is just such a clean, awesome look. It adds to the stormtrooper look effect of our all whites on the road. I think it's one of the best uniforms in college football. So we shared that out in the comments there, and certainly it got a lot of things going, a lot of attention, conversation. I want to point out one comment that was reply to our comment on that topic from the ESPN post. And I don't know where Eddie stands in his fandom. He could be an Auburn fan. Didn't sound like it to me. He says, like and respect that Auburn doesn't wear 7 cute little gimmick uniforms each season. Classic look, nice colors, instantly recognizable if on TV. Amen, brother. That's when he landed me on this comment. And you know if they are home or away. And then he went on to some other things. Don't get me started on these other topics. But that was an outstanding comment, I thought. So shout out to Eddie on X for just that one line there. Instantly recognizable on TV. And if it's recognizable, typically that's in a good way. And that clean white face mask look is the best helmet in college football, and you cannot convince me otherwise. It's definitely better than what they had in this graphic of Ohio State and Notre Dame, which are just plain helmets. I mean, come on, we can do better than that, folks. That's just not even worth mentioning. Thankfully, they didn't put Alabama on there, or else we'd be going off about that one too. But curious to hear any of y'all's thoughts about that, anything that you might have. Let's jump into some other news here, some other programs. Soccer is underway officially this week with the regular season starting, already done their exhibition. I want to give you a couple of names. I know a lot of you aren't big soccer fans, but you need to, as we preach here, be involved in the full Auburn experience and across all Auburn sports. So with the new year, with a brand new era for Auburn soccer, with Coach James Armstrong, here are some names that you need to know. They're on the watch list for the SEC to start the year. These are all first-timers to this list, so that's something to recognize. It's kind of a signifier of the new era. Taylor Chisholm and Grace Ivy are 2 transfers in this year that you need to be aware of in terms of their prowess on this team in the SEC. They're already on this watch list. The other 2 are current people that have been on the roster at Auburn, Hayden Colson and Olivia Woodson. I would highly recommend you know Olivia Woodson from what we've seen early from her in preseason too. I got the first goal, unofficial goal in the preseason, I guess. But those are a couple of names that you should know that are on the SEC watch list from your Auburn Tigers. Take this time under this new era to get acquainted with this team, with the coach, with the program, and get out to what I call the Hoppa, even though it's called the Auburn Soccer Complex. I'm still pushing. That's what they should change the name of that home facility for Auburn for Auburn soccer, because it just works, right? Get to the Hoppa. Come on. Everybody get on board with me with this, and we can make this happen. Other programs that you need to be aware of, men's golf, and this is more about what our individuals are doing outside of the season. Technically, I guess you could count this as part of their just repertoire of the season. The U.S. Amateur is going on right now. We've had some news about that in recent years with women's golf, but from the men's side, they've got several Auburn Tigers that were eligible to compete in it and did so. It's now currently where we stand today down to a few individuals. You know the name I'm about to say. Jackson Coyvin, yes, he's tied for 8th currently as of last night. Logan Riley and Billy Davis also are competing right now, current members of the team. That Logan's actually ahead of Jackson right now at -3, 4th overall. Billy's was tied for 23rd overall last night. So a couple names. There was about 5 from the current team, 6 overall just with Auburn ties that were in the U.S. Amateur. And then obviously Jackson Coyven very well. So keep paying attention to that, see how they do. Jackson especially has had a great summer in terms of some of the events that he's been able to take part of. Thankful he is coming back, though. And lastly, I just want to give a little bit of a heads up and shout out. On September 10th, we are going to, when I say we, the Auburn family is going to be having the Tiger Giving Day. If you don't know what this is where there are going to be a lot of projects, and you can already go to the website they've shared on social media to look at some of those where you can donate to certain things to help Auburn out in a variety of ways, whether that's academics. I think there may be some sports or club team related things that you can get involved with, and just give a small amount and be a part of Tiger Giving Day on September 10th. We, as the E2C Network, typically always donate to the Auburn Raptor Center if they have a campaign that they're doing, and that's what we're going to ask our followers to do as well. So please do that if you can. Help the Auburn family out. Help your Auburn academics, programs, sports, club teams, all that stuff that's going to be out there in the Auburn space. Help them with the needs and the funds that they need to do what they're doing out there. And definitely with the Raptor Center was what we'll be pushing. Tiger Giving Day, September 10th. We'll be talking about it again in the future. Thanks for tuning in today for Ever to Podcast and participating with us. We'd love to see you on our live show this evening, since it's a Wednesday. Every Wednesday night, we do a live call-in show where you can talk about anything. Sure, it does tend to be very sports heavy, but we will talk about anything orange and blue. Join the chat, just watch, or you can take part by calling in on the show and getting your voice heard among the Auburn family that join us. So Wednesday night, 9 Eastern time. Join us if you can. If you missed it, make sure you check out the replay. As always, hit us up on social media and direct messages, or send us an email at e2cnetwork@gmail.com if you want to contact us in any way. Thanks for hanging out at Ever to Podcast. We appreciate you being here. Until we talk to you again, War Eagle.